And welcome back. This is Bella, the social worker. How have you been? I hope you're doing well. Last week I was talking about four different styles of parenting, and I hope you have followed with that and seeing what is working for you. That is very important for you to do so because we are looking to have a strong unit that will come out to a strong community and a strong society. Now, today I'll be talking about something very slightly different. But before then, I want to remind you that whatever I talk about in my YouTube channel is only for empowerment, it's not for treatment. But if you feel that you need any kind of treatment, there are people who are responsible in doing that, and you can contact them. Now, every time when there is a crisis, when there's an upheaval, when there's something that is very traumatic, the aftermath, there are so different things that comes as the aftermath, and one of them is a mental illness that is called post-traumatic stress disorder. Post-traumatic stress disorder, or in short we call it PTSD. PTSD. And this is a disorder that comes when people have gone through a lot of trauma, or when they were young, or when they were teenagers, or even when they are adults. But it can start, children can go through these, adults, adolescents can go through PTSD, even adults and even older people. Now, the reason I'm talking about PTSD today is because, as you all know, what is going on in the world, the pandemic. And because we have first responders of whom we've been praying a lot, that God will protect them, there are chances that post-traumatic stress disorder can hit them. And I pray that it doesn't. And so today I want to kind of tell you, or give you the symptoms, or tell you the things that you can see in people, your family members or your co-workers, and you kind of want to be aware of them so that you can take a quick action before it turns to be a post-traumatic stress disorder. Now, post-traumatic stress disorder comes because of being exposed to the actual event. Say, for example, if somebody has been sick with COVID, or the first responders have seen people dying over and over again, that's being very exposed. The other thing is that it can come from out of injury, like serious injury or sexual violence, which happens, and especially when people are children, or from domestic violence. And it can also happen directly to people, like you are in front line, like the first responders, or it can happen, which we call the first degree, or the second degree, being a witness or being heard, or if thinking about what your family member have gone through. Like, we have people who have lost like four members of the family because of COVID, and so the rest of the survivors can have post-traumatic disorder. We're trying to fathom what is going on, or what trying to kind of come together and heal becomes a piece of work, or seeing death over and over again. Now, what are the symptoms disorder? Now, one thing is important for you to understand is that every person is different. We can come from the same family, but how we handle stress is different. Maybe because we've been trained differently, or because of our personality, or because of the things that has happened. If you have gone through stress over and over again, you might have built some tolerance. Or if you have not gone through stress from time to time, maybe the stress that you go through is stress because having a test. You might be different from somebody who has lost family members over and over again. So people are different, but these are very common, although they are more than I'm giving you. But these are very common symptoms, and if you ever see these ones, you can take an action to save a friend or a family member. The first one is recurrent memories of traumatic event. So you're talking to somebody, and all that person is talking about is what happened. Say, for example, if somebody had an accident, everything they're talking about is about that accident. And so if they are thinking about or talking about the same thing over and over again, it means that they are living that moment. They haven't come out of that moment at all. And if something happens, we ought to come out using the 5 stages of grief and heal. Although it takes a whole long time, but you keep on keeping on, you keep on growing and becoming stronger and stronger. But so if you find somebody talking about the same event, the same traumatic event over and over again, they are living the moment, and that is a problem. The other one is flashback, feeling as if you're living in the moment, and just as I said, nightmares. You are all what is that you're dreaming about. It's about that event. The other thing is that there are physical issues that can be found and become part of traumatic disorder. And these events are like or physical pains like migraines or having headaches or stomachache, digestive issues, feeling dizzy. All those can come because they are part of symptoms of post-traumatic disorder. The other thing is that people with this illness or disorder become very angry and very irritated, and they hate themselves and they hate other people, and more especially they hate the world. They don't see anything good that can come out of the world. So if you find a friend, if you find somebody who is like down looking upon themselves, no self-compassion at all, so this could be another symptom. The other thing is that people with PTSD have a very, very hard time keeping relationship. Remember, my goal is to talk about relationship, building a strong team, building a strong family. But people with PTSD or people who are suffering from it have very, very hard are very hard to keep relationship, and that is a symptom. The other thing is hopelessness, and hopelessness is something, it's a symptom of depression as well. So if you see people who are very hopeless, now they don't see any future and they are very suicidal, I want to kill myself, I don't think I'm good, I don't see anything coming out of me, you have to watch and say, comparing and adding to what I've already told you, make sure that this person is not going through that. If it's not depression, then he could be going through PTSD, and you need to take care. The other problem is that people with PTSD have memory issues and they only remember the tragedy. So that's something else. And they also have a hard time keeping relationship and lack of interest of doing the same thing they used to love doing. That is part of depression as well. What I'm telling you is that post-traumatic disorder has a tendency of comorbiding with depression, and so they can become a team. And so this person could be suffering from post-traumatic, and if not taken care of, can comorbid with depression, and that person becomes very, very sick. And last but not least is that that person is really disturbed emotionally. So all these are post-traumatic stress disorder symptoms, among others. What I'm telling you today is that because we have gone through crisis, we've gone through upheaval as a nation, as a country, as a whole world, we need to watch for each other. We need to keep each other company, encourage each other, and if we see something that can bring one of us down, we better be there to encourage them, because crisis is not a joke and it is something that can bring people down. So I hope that first responders, you'll be having something called self-care. Take good care of yourself. And when we talk about self-care, it has to be holistic. This is spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, mentally, physically, each and every part. And for you to do that, because we know you're very, very working so hard, your family members ought to stand with you. So let's stand with each other, and we for sure we shall make it. We'll do it. We can make it together. Let us team together. All right. Have a good week, and I hope this is important.